Hello and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering EDH deck idea. Today we are taking a look at Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. It is a 4 mana 3/4 and at the beginning of your end step, create a tapped 0/1 black wizard creature token with, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent, and then, if you control 4 or more wizards, transform Kuja. He himself is already a wizard and at the beginning of your end step you will create another one, so you only need 2 more wizards on the battlefield to transform him. Once transformed, you will receive Trans Kuja, Fate Defied, a 4/6 with Flamestar. It's a powerful replacement effect that says, if a wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. This is a Rakdos Burn wizard deck, which plays a bunch of wizards so we can secure to transform Kuja, and then chain a bunch of non-creature spells together to burn our opponents down. Very supportive creatures that we play are for example cards like Coruscation Mage, a 2 mana 2/2 with Offspring for 2 mana. Itself is already a wizard and its token can also be a wizard, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. This is most likely a must-play card in this deck. As for 4 mana, you will receive 2 wizards that do exactly what you want in this deck. We play Black Waltz number 3, a 4 mana 2/2 with Flying and Death Touch, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Black Waltz number 3 deals 2 damage to each opponent. Not a wizard, but also a great creature for this type of deck is Erebor Flamesmith, a 2 mana 2/1, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Erebor Flamesmith deals 1 damage to each opponent. Just as Electrostatic Field, a 2 mana 0/4 with Defender, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Electrostatic Field deals 1 damage to each opponent. We play Gutter Snipe, a 3 mana 2/2, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent. And of course we gotta play Kessig Flamebreather, a 2 mana 1/3, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Kessig Flamebreather deals 1 damage to each opponent. There are a lot more supportive creatures that we can play in this type of deck. For example Torwaki the Younger, a 5 mana 3/3 with Reach and Lifelink, and if another source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage plus 1 to that permanent or player instead. When it comes to having several replacement effects on the battlefield, always remember that the person that is affected by those replacement effects may decide how they should be calculated. Furthermore, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Torwaki the Younger deals 2 damage to any target. We play Queen Brane, a 3 mana 2/1 with Prowess, and whenever she attacks, create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Repeatable token creation is perfect for this deck, as we play a bunch of non-creature spells, and due to the fact that we are also in black, we also play a bunch of removal, which will clear the path for Queen Brane to attack repeatedly. Let's play more replacement effects. We play Ojer Axorneal, Deepest Might, a 4 mana 4/4 with Trample, and if a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Ojer Axorneal's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to Ojer Axorneal's power instead. And if he dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. Due to the fact that we play a bunch of wizards, who would have guessed, Roaming Throne is a great card in this deck. Roaming Throne, a 4 mana 4/4 with War 2, and as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Itself is the chosen type in addition to its other types, and if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. Let's play even more replacement effects. We play Harmonic Prodigy, a 2 mana 1/3 with Prowess, and if an ability of a shaman or another wizard you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Let's keep going with replacement effects. We play Solfim, Mayhem Dominus, a 4 mana 5/4, and if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. For 1 generic mana and 2 right Phyrexian mana and discarding 2 cards, you can put an indestructible counter on Solfim, Mayhem Dominus. We also gotta make sure that we never run out of gas, and in addition to that, all of the following spells are non-creature spells, so they will also feed our game plan, which is why we play Artist Talent, a 2 mana enchantment class, and on level 1, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card, and if you do, you draw a card. Sure, this is a looting effect and not really netting us any cards, but we get through our deck really fast and find what we need in the current situation. On level 2, for 3 mana, non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and on level 3, for 3 mana, if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. A really great card for Cardadvantage in this deck is Light Up the Stage, a 3 mana sorcery, and you can cast it for its spectacle costs for 1 mana. And then you exile the top 2 cards of your library, and until the end of your next turn you may play those cards. A card that does everything that we want to do is Grab the Prize, a 2 mana sorcery, and as an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card. You draw 2 cards, and if the discarded card wasn't a land, Grab the Prize deals 2 damage to each opponent. Something that we don't necessarily want to do, but we are fine doing it if we have no cards in hand, is cast spells like Village Rites, a 1 mana instant, and as an additional cost to cast a spell, we will sacrifice one of our black wizards to draw 2 cards. To storm off, we will play cards like Will of the Jeskai, a 4 mana sorcery, and choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. And then you can choose between each player may discard their hand and draw 5 cards. And the other mode is each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. Keep in mind that spells resolve from top to bottom, which will also give the cards that you had in your hand as you cast a spell flashback. When the time is right, we want to cast Big Score, a 4 mana instant, and as an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card. And then you draw 2 cards and create 2 treasure tokens. And now let's talk about interaction and additional burn. We play Wizard's Lightning, a 3 mana instant, and this spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a wizard, and it deals 3 damage to any target. A flexible protection or interaction spell is Untimely Malfunction, a 2 mana instant, choose one. Either destroy target artifact, change the target of target spell or ability with a single target, or 1 or 2 target creatures can't block this turn. Another card that came from Final Fantasy is Suplex, a 2 mana sorcery, choose one. Either it deals 3 damage to target creature, and if that creature would die this turn, exile it instead, or you can exile target artifact. We play Dismember, a 1 generic and 2 black Phyrexian instant, and target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. We play even more removal in form of Sheoldred's Edict, a 2 mana instant, choose one. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature, a creature token, or a planeswalker. Due to the fact that we create a bunch of tokens that aren't meant to attack, we play Lethal Scheme, a 4 mana instant with Convoke, so we can use all of those wizards to pay for its cost, and you destroy target creature or planeswalker, and each creature that convoked this spell connives. You want to win more? You get it. We play Past in Flames, a 4 mana sorcery, and each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn, and the flashback cost is equal to its mana cost, and you can also flash it back for 5 mana. At some point we will have used a bunch of interaction and burn spells that lie in our graveyard, so Past in Flames is the perfect card to get them all back and start our game-ending turn. Just as with Lethal Scheme, we want to convoke City on Fire, an 8 mana enchantment with Convoke, and if a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage instead. And last but not least, we play Virtue of Courage, a 5 mana enchantment, so whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library, and you may play those cards this turn. This is extremely powerful as it is a May trigger, and all of your tokens will always deal 1 damage, which will lead to you getting a bunch of triggers that allow you to exile 1 card, and then you just have to hold priority and always make sure how deep you want to go with the remaining triggers to chain a powerful turn together. It also has an adventure side, Ember of Blaze, a 2 mana instant, and it deals 2 damage to any target. Alright guys, these were a few cards that I will play in Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. Let me know which cards you would add to the deck, which legendary creature I shall feature next. Make sure to check out my full deck list in the notes below, and then I would say see you in the next one. Goodbye guys.